Hello, everybody! Friends in the chat, hi, thank you for joining us for episode 2 of The Haunting of Good Society. Today, we will be continuing the tale of the Cluett Sisters, former child detectives who have taken on one last case, it seems. We are playing Good Society, which is a tabletop RPG by Storybrewers Roleplaying, one of our sponsors for the show. So if it looks like we're having fun, you're enjoying the show, please go check them out. Another sponsor of ours making tonight happen is Friday Afternoon Tea, a shop here in Seattle that makes evocative teas for thirsty nerds. But let's go ahead and meet our lovely cast, starting with yours truly, the eldest Cluett sister. I am Lysa Penrose. I am playing Henrietta, or Hetty Cluett, and I have a dark secret inside, so to speak.
Oh, hi, everybody. Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Eugenio DM Jazzy Hands, and tonight I am playing Harriet Cluett, also known as Hattie, and I know that my twin sister Henrietta has a dark secret.
Friday.
Hi, everyone. I'm Friday. I am playing Edwina Cluett, the youngest of the Cluett sisters, indubitably the most scandalous and the least, have a care.
And TK.
I'm TK, and I am the chaperone this evening, working as the facilitator, basically creating the landscape and introducing the danger and the scandal that our three sisters will be wading through.
Making sure we both stay out of and get in trouble.
I don't think I ever promised to keep you out of trouble, so it kind of feels like it's just the one.
We have some questions that need answering tonight. Where did Edwina's fortune come from? What is this talk of an exorcism coming from Hattie? And who is this Lord Cornelius Owen? Let's get ready for some story time and see if we get some answers. All right, we're back. TK, take it away.
I apologize, Rudy. I just blew as hard as I could into the microphone. Oh my goodness. How many days has it been since the reception? It's only been a night, but it feels longer. When you wake up, your bodies ache, and the room is chilly in this old house. Are you sleeping in your own rooms at the mansion, or did you band together?
Do Hattie and Hetty share a room, like a twin thing?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Twin thing.
I think I think we did. It's up to you if we still do, but I think we did.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for siblings to share rooms in this time period, just because most of the floor space of houses was meant for company. Bedrooms were rarely considered places that needed a lot of floor space. You pretty much just went to bed in them and dressed in them.
I think unless they were home, Henrietta stayed in the master bedroom, wanting to have a talk with her parents as soon as they return. And she just fell asleep on the bed.
Absolutely. When you went into the master bedroom, you found everything clean and tidy and perfectly in place.
Weird.
All of the clothing was in the dressers and wardrobes. All of the sheets and pillows were perfectly set upon the bed. There were even shoes set aside and traveling clothes and coats. The luggage was all perfectly neat where it was meant to be. There was no sign that they would be anywhere but here. And yet, they are not.
I feel like I don't know if everyone will be in the house when I wake up, but if they are, I think that's worth mentioning. I would come down to the kitchen or the dining room, wherever we would have breakfast. Well, mother and father, I give Hattie a pointed look. Mother and father didn't come back last night.
Hardly seems like them. Surprising enough, they missed the wedding. Do we have much of a staff anymore? Or does the house have much of a staff, if any at all, anymore?
Not anymore. Your parents
Yeah.
had led you to believe that most of the staff had been sent away because they had no use for them.
And upon returning, does that look to be the actual case?
The house is not in disrepair.
Okay.
It's hardly fit for guests. Much of the silver is tarnished. There is a layer of dust in the kitchen, though nothing to suggest that people don't live here. There are small signs that there is no staff to keep after this house, which is not an insubstantial house either.
Right.
Did they mention anything to you about going anywhere?
No, and I would think that they would have directly before the wedding. Unfortunately, I just don't know. With no one here to tend the house, no one was sort of keeping track of their dailies, and I just don't know who to ask at this point. I mean, where could they have possibly... I am definitely not talking to you, Siri. Where could they have possibly gone that they... in such... I mean, where could they have gone that they would have been able to stay overnight without any of their things?
Edwina, I don't imagine you've had much contact with our parents.
No reason to.
So
I was doing just fine. They didn't check in. No, I haven't heard a thing. I have to assume they know what they're about. They'll wander back when they're ready. I mean, so did we, right? We came back when we were ready.
Perhaps. I never really thought of our parents as ones to wander much, though.
Well, how do you suppose I never really thought of our parents?
Hattie is about to say something and just, grabs her rosary and just, mutters an Ave Maria and keeps her mouth shut.
I am milling about the kitchen, getting some, little crumpets, and toasting them in a pan and smearing them with butter, and I put them on little plates and pass them across the table or the countertop.
When you went to the kitchen to find crumpets and stuff, you found that there was enough food in the larder for the three of you, but beyond that, the pantry is mostly bare. Nothing that couldn't be kept. The bread that has been used for crumpets and the flour that's been used for crumpet is the last of it.
This is all they had.
There's no meat.
Sorry it's not more elaborate, but there's no solving mysteries on an empty stomach, and now it's seeming like we maybe have more than one.
I actually feel better that there weren't supplies in the kitchen, because one could hope that means that Mother and Father knew that they would be taking a trip and didn't bother to resupply, which I'm still nervous that I don't know where they are, but at least they seemed to know that a trip was imminent.
I'm troubled, but one thing at a time. I think I will be paying a visit to the newlyweds today. I have more questions for Moira. I'd like to see if there's anything else I can find out about the Count's former wives.
Do give my regards to Moira when you see her. I'll be catching up with Father Cyrus. Nope, with Lucian, right? Is my morning meeting, or is Father Cyrus my morning? I have so many meetings.
Father
I just
Cyrus
don't
will
know.
be there with Lucy.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh, that's right.
Father Cyrus has agreed to meet you with Lucian.
That's right. That's right. Yes, so do give Moira my regards, and I shall be catching up with Father Cyrus and with Lucian Knight this morning.
And what debauchery are you up to, Edwina?
Well, my debauchery is none of yours. My first order of business is to go find something to eat that isn't this nasty dried crumpet that you managed to put together. Thank you very much, Hetty. I can't live like this. I'll be out in search of something fresher. But enjoy your visit. Say hi from me.
Where you seem to have more expensive tastes than last we were together. Where did you acquire those?
Well, some of us, when we come out into society, prefer to learn the more refined graces and don't really need to limit ourselves to our former level. Have a nice day. She sweeps out of the kitchen, off on her own.
I swear she is more insufferable. Headstrong is a word I might have used before. Insufferable now, definitely.
I wish I could give her the benefit of the doubt and say that she's nervous about mother and father and nervous about being back, but perhaps that's too much credit for our dear sister.
Oh, well, she certainly has nerves.
Do be careful. Give Moira my regards, and
Absolutely.
shall we sup together after we're done with our day, just to catch up and compare notes as we used to?
Yes, I would like your input on whatever I learn, of course.
Well, and I do hope that Lucian has much to tell me. He was the closest to Moira's new husband before. Perhaps he knows things.
Well, breakfast on the go. I'm thinking a walk this morning, but I will see you after our appointments.
Yes, indeed.
Eddie, as you left the house, you stormed through the door and sort of closed it and chuckled to yourself about all of the drama that you've now stirred up. You did see a very nervous man sort of pacing in front of the drawing room window. He has a not quite wilted yet small bouquet of flowers in his hands that he has been clutching too tightly. The stems have begun to crack a little, and he appears to be looking at himself in the mirror, changing something about his hair, setting the hat to one side or another, moving a cravat from side to side, and he catches you noticing him, straightens with a start, and sort of stiffly walks past you to rap upon the door. Lord Levi Lockhart has come calling Hetty.
This poor young fool. And I kind of change my posture a little bit and walk to the door to open it. Lieutenant, so lovely of you to pay a visit this morning.
With a sweeping bow that maybe makes his cravat kind of fall a little bit askew, and his jacket, a single flower falls off of one of its stalks. The rest are intact.
I love this broken Disney prince.
I think at that moment, I come out, Hattie comes out to be like the chaperone, because these two can't be alone together, and just sees, bless him, falling over himself, hat, flower, and, just goes, well, I'll be off to my meetings.
Oh, no, surely you must. Okay. All right. Bye, Hattie. Okay. Did you, I was actually on my way out, Levi, Lieutenant Lockhart, taking a walk to, the Craddock's estate.
I considered possibly taking a walk in that direction myself. Good fresh air is good for your good health, as they say. Would you care for an escort, my lady?
Certainly. Let's promenade. But perhaps let's first save these poor things. And I'll take the flowers and put them in a vase on the kitchen counter. And then...
when you put them in the vase, they sort of like fall open a little bit. One of them sort of droops down. Oh. They look like wildflower daisies that one would pick from the side of the road.
Yeah, kind of roughly. Also, he didn't know to knock the bugs out of them. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there's like a ladybug that's sort of like going from petal to petal.
I just watched the ladybug fly off into the kitchen. Good. Fantastic. And I'll walk back to the door. Thank you for the lovely gift. And offer my arm.
Excellent. Okay. Promenade.
Did you enjoy the festivities?
I enjoyed the festivities, yes. I enjoyed meeting your lovely sister. I enjoyed seeing your lovely other sister from a distance. She has a strong personality, that one.
Yes, very determined in all things.
Indeed, so it would seem. Very, very strong personality. My favorite, most wonderful part of this festivities yesterday was getting to see you.
Oh.
If that's not too forward, I'm so pleased to meet you and to see you.
Oh, well, what a gentle, lovely soul you are. And the same, of course. So lovely. How far away do the Craddocks live?
Oh, Henrietta, we could walk for days to the Craddocks, and it would not be enough time in your company.
The Craddocks do not live days away.
Oh, thank gosh.
You live in roughly the same neighborhood, having grown up in roughly the same parts. But you had not visited the Craddocks before. So you are perhaps a little surprised to find yourself on a street not too far from your own, but one that you have not been on since before you left town.
Oh.
The wind stops. It stills and it gets silent. For a moment, you can't even hear birds as you stand in front of a house that you once spent a harrowing night in. This estate looks different with the blossoming trees and the fresh paint and the glass in these sort of rosy stain. It looks different with the stone facade that has been added, and it looks different with a little bit of smoke coming from the kitchen. But you would know this house anywhere, the house that killed your childhood and chased you away from town.
Count Simon lives here. I didn't recognize the address, but do you know much about Count Simon?
Not overly. We share a few acquaintances in common. We've met here and there at a small neighborhood party. He seems a lovely man. He seems to keep lovely company.
Yes, lovely. Oh, Lockhart, you seem to see the best in everything, and that is a lovely quality.
Well, it takes a lovely state of mind to fully take care of a lovely woman.
I feel like the luckiest Cluett today, and I'll grasp Levi's hands and just smile. But I'm here at my destination, so I believe we should part ways now.
Will I see you again soon?
Not soon enough.
Oh, Henrietta. Be well.
And as she turns, she just drops that, like, dreamy sweetheart face that she had and rolls her eyes and stalks towards this house.
A house at the end of Claret Lane.
Thought I'd escaped this place, but drawing me back, should have known.
Yeah. You set your knuckles upon the door, and almost before you can knock, it swings away from you. You see a red-haired maid, very prettily dressed in a sort of black frock and a frilled apron, and she smiles and she's, lass, I don't know if Miss Moria will be accepting any visitors today. She is not feeling well, but if you want, you can wait, and I will let her know.
Yes, absolutely. Let her know Henrietta Cluett is here to see her.
There is a stiffening of her shoulders when you say your name, but she puts on the smile again, and she's, yes, just wait in the foyer, and I will be back for you.
Yes, thank you.
She shuts the door behind you and motions towards a sort of a crystal decanter that is filled with clear water, and there is just this enormous red rose bouquet, obviously like the petals that were used at the ceremony, imported. It is still a little too early for roses here, and it is also in a crystal clear vase, and she motions there by this sort of frame that's been covered in a gauzy white drape, and makes her way upstairs.
As she leaves, or not as she leaves, after she leaves, I kind of open up the top of the decanter and just kind of sniff at the water or liquid inside. Is it water?
It smells like water, but there is a sweet quality to it. Something has been added.
I just raise an eyebrow and I put it down. And I snoop. Is there stuff to snoop?
Oh, there's so much stuff to snoop. As you come into this house, the house at the end of Claret Lane, which is the largest manor in town, you come in from the foyer, and to your right bears a library with no door on the frame. Many books against the wall in these recessed bookcases, all of it dark hardwood. On the other side is a sort of a parlor, and all of the furniture is very much for lounging. There's almost no upright furniture. It's just chaise lounges and settees, pretty much as far as the eye can see. 4 or 5 in there, mostly to host larger parties. Further down is the swinging door to the kitchen, and of course the dining room would be further after that. You do know there is a ballroom here, but it is further towards the back. That was the most horrendous room last time you were here. I wonder what it looks like now. As you walk around, it's uncanny how different it looks, and yet every step is the same.
A few flowers here, some dressing there. It's a whole new world here.
The floorboard creaks under your step, just like you knew it would. Which room would you like to go into?
I would like to go into the library and just read the spines of the books, see if there's a theme.
Yeah, as you go into the books, you do notice that there is a theme. The theme is Greek tragedies. This This bookcase is full to bursting with these sort of like classic Greek and Roman tragedies. And when you open them, they are in the original languages.
Oh.
As far as would be considered the original languages that they had access to when these were printed. Nothing's in Aramaic. But yeah, so when you look up, you see tomes on Gilgamesh, on the ancient, like you see tomes on like say Ishtar, you see Homerian classics, you see Socrates, you see Plato, all manner of Greek, Latin, classical, and then you start getting into the more fictional and it's all tragedies.
I am going to drift over to an area if there is a desk or a reading chair with a table next to it and see if there is a tome that is open as if it's being read.
This library has been made into a sort of cigar lounge as well, so there are multiple chairs to sit in. There's a desk, but with no chair behind it. There are some papers on the desk, but they are all blank. If you had to guess, because of the fastidious nature of this library, anything of value to be read has already been put away.
Being an experienced, albeit child detective in the past, I would like to listen first to hear if the maid is returning, and then crouch down to see if there are any seams that reveal a secret compartment. Can I spend a resolve token? May I offer you a resolve token for there to be a secret compartment?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say spending that resolve token, I would say there is something that many people underestimate about child detectives, and that is a different perspective. And once you get below eye level, it's very easy to see the seam in the runner for the invisible drawer along the side. All it takes is grabbing one of the sort of quilled pens from the top and sort of notching it into the runner to force that extra drawer out, which is a thing, by the way. You can do that with if you can find the runner for a secret drawer, unless it's specifically locked with a key, you can usually notch it out with a pen or a coin.
Every time I'd like to open it and see what's inside.
Yeah, you allow it to come open and use the quill to sort of draw it out just a little bit without touching, and you see a couple of sealed envelopes.
Do they have names or anything else written on the outside of them?
Not on the outside, but you could probably open them.
Sealed, though.
They are sealed with a wax seal.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Is there a letter opener?
I'm gonna say yeah, it's a desk.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the letter opener, but with sort of the cloth of my skirt, and carefully open up the letter.
Yeah, you open up the letter and you pull it, just like ever so gently notch out the first flap of it, and it's a deed. It's a signed deed to a home.
Okay. And
specifically this address. The wax seal is the same on each of the letters, and there are about 12 in here. You would suspect they are all from the same solicitor.
I'll open a second, but I'm not going to sit there. I probably don't have time to open all 12.
Yeah, another address in Honeyfield.
Huh.
All of them, the ones that you have opened are both owned now by Simon Cradock.
Right. I'll hold a few more just up to the light, just enough to detect that it's similar paperwork.
Yeah, each one, yes, mostly abandoned buildings, warehouses, things like that, an apiary, and your address.
Our address?
On the 8th one.
What? I feel like at this point, I probably hear the maid starting to approach.
You begin to hear the click-clack of heels against the hardwood stairs.
So I'm going to carefully shuffle the letters, putting the one side opened kind of underneath, because then he won't notice, right? And I'll close the compartment.
Mm-hmm. Do you leave the one with your address in there?
No. I think I'm going to pocket that one to show Harriet.
Okay, let me just make a note real quick. Okay. Sorry, sorry for everybody who's hearing my typing ASMR as I make this note real quick. All right. You hear the click clack of the maid come down, and she sort of, you could hear it just like straightening the.
I'm in here.
My Lady Cluett.
I'm in here in the library.
She sort of pokes her head in. She's like, "You're welcome to come up now if you like."
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, she steps to the side. As you leave, she casts sort of a discerning eye over the library.
I act like nothing's happened.
Okay. Yeah. Did you take any books or move them or anything? Just read them?
I did not.
Okay, just read the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. She indicates up the stairs and follows you a couple steps behind, and then indicates the ladies' bedroom. As is proper, they don't share a room just yet.
I'll knock quietly on the door.
You hear a sort of weak voice. "Oh, Hetty, come on in."
And I'll push the door open and quietly, not fully close it, but almost fully shut the door behind me.
Yeah, when you go in, you see Moira laying in bed, and her hair is splayed out on the pillow like a halo. It's just like, it's bright and strawberry red, and puddles out there underneath her head. And she sort of like weakly inclines towards you and sort of motions with a couple of her fingers for you to come closer to her.
Moira, I heard from the maid that you're unwell. And I'm going to rush to her side.
It's just a summer cold. Simon gets so... He overreacts and he worries about me, but it'll be all right. It's nothing I haven't had before.
Were you feeling... Well, I feel... Yesterday I left you and you were in good spirits, and during the ceremony you looked so pale. Beautiful, but very, very...
Yes,
pale.
I must have caught something while getting ready, and that's fine. You know, I've always had a weak constitution.
Do I remember her having a weak constitution?
Nothing that was unusual for a 10-year-old girl.
You always seemed hardy enough when we were young.
Oh, well, as you know, as you get older, you're not as strong as you used to be.
Well, how are you feeling as the mistress of the house for a day?
She smiles at you and I'm ecstatic. I feel like it's all I've ever wanted. Could you pour me a drink?
Is there like a decanter of water?
Yeah,
kind of
there's
like
another
downstairs?
decanter.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to put my body in such a way that I can kind of sniff at this decanter of water as well without revealing that that's what I'm doing.
It's also sweet.
The water here has such an interesting fragrance.
Oh, it's rose water. Simon is such a romantic. He believes that rose water will it's just romantic. Never mind. I shouldn't gossip about these things.
Oh no, please do. If you can't gossip with your friends, your childhood friends, who can you gossip with?
It's more of a wife's business. And there's like sort of a conspiratory giggle.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you're feeling sick just days after the wedding. I can't help but make me think of Carolyn. Dear Carolyn, sick all the time.
She sort of like she gives a little sigh and like kind of shifts in bed as though this conversation is uncomfortable, but she's too polite to say so.
Do you remember whether was it colds the way you feel now that she struggled with?
Oh, she was more feverish. Simon is looking to I'm sorry. My husband is looking to move us to somewhere a little warmer for my constitution. He fears that it was the cold that got to Lena and Carolyn.
Well, there's certainly no cold today. It's sweltering out there.
But I feel so... And she sort of like kind of cuddles up a little under her comforter. You can see that beneath her duvet she's got at least 2 or 3 rows of just regular wool blankets.
You feel cold.
And even still she's got some sweat sheening on her forehead.
You feel cold?
I do. I can't stand it.
And I am gonna come sit right next to her and put my hand on her forehead. And what else? What else do you feel?
You set your hand against her forehead and it is slick with sweat, but you put your knuckles against the skin and it's cold. It's as cold as the water in the decanter. And she sort of like sets her hand against your wrist and you can see the tips of her fingers are darkening. Not by much.
That doesn't seem normal.
Remember your politeness, Hetty. Yeah. Don't say anything. Scandal.
I see. Did anything else happen after I left you at the chapel?
No. It's so silly. My head must have been swimming. I don't drink very much. So I might have closed my eyes for a couple of moments more, but when I woke, Simon was, well, he was outside the door. He knew better than to come in and see me before the wedding, but it was maybe a moment.
Maybe a moment. And what?
Maybe a moment that it's so embarrassing to say that I may have fallen asleep on my wedding day, but it must have happened.
It's a very overwhelming day. I imagine. I wouldn't know.
It is. I can't wait for you to get married. I promise I'll dance at your wedding.
Yes, with Lieutenant Lockhart. Do you have any other advice for a soon-to-be-wed young lady?
Well, Levi's very sweet, but he is rising in the ranks fast. I know he'll be a great officer, but I fear for him should he ever see actual combat.
I think I know what you mean.
Yes. He's a very gentle boy. But he thinks so much of you.
He does. And Henrietta seems like actively uncomfortable now that we're talking about Levi.
She's not looking at your face, and she adds, you should have seen how excited he was when your parents spoke to him. He's followed your adventures for years.
Yes, very sweet. So sweet. I'm so worried about you, though, and I hope I'm not being too direct, but I wonder if there's do you remember anything else of Carolyn and Lena was her name? I just worry about this sickness that you're dealing with, and if there's anything that maybe
don't be
me and
worried.
Hattie
I'm
can put our
sure
minds
it's not
together and help.
contagious.
Oh, I only worry for you.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's not catching. I'll be all right, but do you mind Shelley drew the curtains earlier. Do you mind closing them for me?
Is the light bothering you?
I've got a headache. I'm sorry. Could you move the water a little closer?
Of course. And I'll kind of shift the water. In fact, I'll just hand her the water.
Yeah, she holds it up against her lips and then suddenly just pours it straight down. It begins to stream on either side of her face and it soaks the front of her gown, and she like gasps as she finishes drinking. She's just, oh, much better. Much better. Thank you. I think I'll sleep now. Thank you for coming to visit me, Hetty.
Of course. I'll draw the curtains closed.
Thank you.
I hope you feel better soon.
She's already begun to doze off.
I'm going to peek out the door. Is the maid, like, waiting there or anything?
No, she's not waiting directly by the door.
Okay. Then I'm going to see myself out, and as I leave, I would like to take the decanter of water.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk down the stairs, you can kind of hear the click-clack of her coming out of the kitchen. It's like, Miss Cluett, I'll see you out. Don't worry.
Oh, no, don't worry. I have another appointment I need to go to. I'll just hurry out. Don't mind me. And I feel like Hetty is probably skilled in, like, slipping things to, like, hidden spots.
Yeah. Now, the decanter of water is a big boy.
Oh, you know what? I have the flask.
Yes.
We're going to
you
say I
do
just
have a
always
flask.
have the flask.
That's why I wanted to just bring that up real quick.
I'm just going to pour that into... I'm just going to dump the rest of the gin in my flask into the flowers. And then I'm going to fill the flask with as much of the water that I can sample.
Yeah, just sort of like set the flask into there, let some water go in, and then pull it back out, screw it back on.
Yeah, and hurry out the door.
Bye.
See ya.
Deuces. Yeah, absolutely. Do you go back home?
Yes, I'm going to go back home to wait for Hattie to return.
Yeah. In the meantime, I would like to pop over to Hattie, where are you meeting with Lucian and Father Cyrus?
I think when Father Cyrus agreed to join, well, Lucian had wanted to meet in the catacombs.
Right.
So as long as Father Cyrus is okay getting down there, I know he's not old, but he's seen some things. So as long as he's cool getting down there, I think we'll just acquiesce with Lucian's wishes.
All right, just needed to take a couple
I love that we're both taking notes on things right now.
Just needed to take a quick note, no reason. Yeah, okay, Hattie, you find Father Cyrus at the same entrance that you have always used when meeting. And it is a mausoleum that was not quite finished. He inclines towards the stairs for you to go first through these open doors, and then a spiraling stone step that leads down to just a single stone door. He pulls a mechanism in the side, pushes a brick that recesses, and a door beside that door swings open to open up into a sort of catacomb.
Credo in Deum Patrem omnipotem creum torum celi and terre et in Jesu Christum filium eius unicum Dominum nostrum qui conceptus et... And she's just going on, prayers, occasionally throwing little looks at Father Cyrus, because I think Father Cyrus knows that Hattie's religion is utilitarian, right? It's not about the adherence to dogma. It's about the literal power that she can access against spirits and demons with the words of the Lord.
Yeah, there was a movie I watched not too long ago about a person who sort of performs sort of an exorcism adjacent thing on demons, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not a priest. I don't exorcise them. I evict them." Like,
Ooh,
it's very
wait a minute.
much.
What was that? I've seen that. What is that?
Oh man, I wish I could tell you, because it involved like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
and things like that. But
yes,
yeah,
and it was like
it
was a whole like medical procedure.
Right.
I know exactly what
It
you're
was
talking
like
about. I can't
The
think
Cell,
of it.
but demons instead of serial killers.
Yes.
Or like
It's gonna bug
Inception
me.
with
We'll think of it by
demons.
the end of tonight.
It's on Netflix. We'll find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that very idea of like, I will use your tools, but I have my own like we are essentially doing the same job, but we have very different belief systems. Yeah, so Father Cyrus and Hetty or Hattie enter the catacombs.
I guess if I look about and don't immediately see Lucian, then I will just start talking with Father Cyrus and say, well, that was quite the event yesterday.
Yes, I was happy to preside over the ceremony, but I felt something. Did you feel something?
I absolutely did, and what, you were so close to it. What was it like for you?
It felt for a moment like I was, as if I were transported, not in my body, but watching from the rafters, frozen, unable to do anything.
Precisely. When was the last time that you watched that group of people observe a scene like that without reacting? That in and of itself was enough to convince me that something is afoot.
I'm eager to hear what this Lucian has to say. If he can shine some light on what darkness this Count Simon hides.
Lucian has ever been a unique individual. And so it may be nothing more than his particular eccentricities, but his correspondence with me has been troubling.
How so?
It may be nothing but coincidence and the wild imagination of a heartbroken man, but he refers to things. He mentions things, uses words and phrases that a man such as he should not know. That only those who, well, shall we say, travel in the circles that you and I travel in, should know these things.
Perhaps he also deals in shadows.
There are all types, but he doesn't seem to quite have the constitution for it. And as she says that, she looks apologetically at Father Cyrus and just reaches into her Bible for the flask and takes just a little bit, offers it to Father Cyrus.
Oh, no, thank you.
Puts it back. And as quickly as possible puts the Bible away. She may not be a real adherent, but she does sort of feel bad.
I imagine Father Cyrus has like a lantern of sorts, and he is just going to kind of raise it up to see what we observe in the catacombs.
It doesn't take very long for this swinging lantern that's bouncing off of this hard-packed earth to swing across the face of a sort of... contrary to many of the men in this area, with their angular faces and very tapered long fingers, Francis Pratt is a very He has a gentle face with round cheeks and a soft chin.
Francis?
Do you mean
not
the name
Francis.
that you said?
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I did
It's
not
okay.
mean that.
We were
I
like,
meant
could've worked.
Lucian. I was just looking at my
we were
notes.
Gonna go with it.
No, it's
I was like,
Lucian.
what's my boy doing there? What's going on?
I'm so sorry. I can't
No.
have Hattie have a conversation with herself right now.
They worked so hard in this game to make sure that no one ever has to do that, and yet.
I work so hard. Yeah, so it's Lucian. Lucian has a very soft face, very round cheeks, soft chin, and the clothing that he wears are a sort of not quite landed gentry, like it's a working gentry almost, sort of clothing, fashionable cuts, but inexpensive material. And he already has his top hat off, sort of gently rotating it by the brim in his hands. He's begun to crush the indentations of his fingers into the hat brim, and he waits there, this gentle-faced plump man, and when he sees the two of you, his eyes sort of light up and then get very somber again, as though he is realizing now that this is all very real.
Lucian, gave us a bit of a start. Didn't realize you'd already made it down here. Are you well?
No, I'm not. I'm not very well at all. You weren't follow. I just came down through the servants' entrance. So the service entrance. I don't like being down here, but it's better than being up there.
Up where, Lucian?
Up in the open, the open, in the grass and the graves.
And what is wrong with being out in the open, Lucian? Grabs her rosary a little bit.
What you said you would help me, so let's do it. Let's start the helping part.
Of course, more than happy to. Both Father Cyrus and I here to bring the Lord's aid. But first, you must tell us what is the matter.
And he drops his hat in the dirt, and then immediately bends down and brushes it off and sort of like wipes sweaty hands on his jacket, and then ties and unties the cravat, puts the hat on the head, sort of washes the face. And you can see that there is like this sort of yellow sheen and sweat that is like coating his face. And I
Speak directly, son. Out with it.
don't know. I don't know.
Why don't you tell us what you do know?
I do know that it didn't make any sense. I thought I was jealous at first, which makes sense, because if you'd ever with Simon, then it wouldn't make sense. Moira, you know? I mean, Moira. No offense. She's pretty, but Lucian has very exacting standards, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, I guess. But then, after Carolyn passed, and at first I had some questions after Lena, but, Lena was always a little sickly. It just didn't make any sense. And I think he killed her. I think he killed them both.
It's good, Lucian, that you came to us. What makes you believe this? It's a very serious accusation.
Because he almost killed me.
And That seems to me to be a matter for the constable or a magistrate, not for two members of the clergy, at least not yet. Why did you come to us, Lucian? What did Count Simon do to you?
Simon or Lucian looks at you and he sort of like loosens his cravat again and he like strokes his neck. And then he sets both hands on top of his hat and like slowly lowers it to the ground, takes the cravat, begins to untie it. He turns his back to both of you and begins to fold articles of clothing as he begins to disrobe. And before he completely takes off his shirt, he digs his fingers beneath his hairline and begins to pull dry slabs of hair and scalp away from his head, and then opens his shirt and begins to slide it off of his body. And you can see deep scores and scars racked across his back and shoulder. When he turns back to you, you can see what appears to be this jagged bite wound across one of his pecs. I don't think they can do anything about this.
Lucian, how long ago did this happen? That's okay. It's okay, Lucian. Why don't you wait here for just a moment? Father Cyrus and I will.
Are you leaving?
We can. No. We'll just go to the other side of the catacombs to prepare.
There are others down here. Like this. I haven't left in weeks, I think. But it's hard because I can't see the sun.
Hattie reaches for the Bible juice again, and pulls it out and sort of looks over to Father Cyrus and shrugs and says, "I suppose if you can bless water."
Father Cyrus will take the flask. First, he will take a little sip now.
The moment you pull the flask out and like this sort of the lantern light glints off of that hint of silver on the flask, you just hear
It's all right, Lucian. It's all right. Father Cyrus and I are going to go gather some materials. And we'll be back, and it won't be weeks. We'll be back, and we will do what we can to help you, yes? Are you in danger from the others down here?
No, they don't. It's not. It's fine. It's fine. I knew better than this. I shouldn't have. No.
No. It's all right, Lucian. I'm glad that you came to us, and we will help you. If you can just hold out another couple of days so that we can prepare.
She'll be dead by then.
Moira?
Yeah.
Well, then we'll just have to multitask now, won't we?
Okay, but you have to be back by tonight.
We'll do our best.
Has to be tonight.
We'll be back tonight, Lucian.
Okay. He turns away from you and gathers his clothing, sets it back onto his body and like looks over at you for like a moment, takes off full sprint down the catacombs faster than you've ever seen a man run.
Well.
Fuck. Sorry,
Harriet.
Father.
No.
I'm so sorry, Father. Yes.
I
We should go, I think.
I take another sip from the flask before handing it back to you.
So do I after I get it back.
Let's...
Yes.
Okay.
And as we go, just back and forth, like, have you ever seen the like? Have you ever seen anything like this? It's not a possession, I don't think. It's unlike anything that I've ever seen. And all just that sort of, presumably we are both flummoxed.
Yep.
So just that sort of like, back and forth as we leave the catacombs. Completely in total safety and without a problem, right?
Yes, you
great.
leave in total safety. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Nothing accosts the two clergy that wander the dark at the catacombs, even after having poured that holy libations into your bloodstreams. So I would like, since we are at the top of the hour, to go ahead and start our reputation. Unless, because I don't think that we will have time to do Eddie in this chapter, and I really want to dedicate a lot to Eddie for the next chapter. So
Okay.
Eddie's got a lot of questions.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ready to do
Right.
we ready to do reputation? We doing okay?
Yeah, I am just reeling from whatever that was. So in these reputations, I guess that would be myself and Harriet. On the family background PDF from the player materials on the Storybrewers Roleplaying website, do you feel you did anything that is listed under gain, or a positive tag, or a negative tag?
I think I did several things. So most of the negative things are like acting in contravention to society, and between the drinking cleric and the leaving my sister to walk with a man on her own.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna come back to later. Yeah, I think I have done a few negatory things.
Okay.
The
What
problem, though, is
tag do you think?
I would pick hypocritical because she's a woman of the cloth, but I already have
already
that one.
have hypocritical, yeah.
So we can sort of pull other ideas, so it doesn't have to be from this list, yeah?
Yeah, correct. You can make up a tag as well.
So I think maybe something like, I'm trying to come up with a good single word for it, but something like pragmatic, but like negative, right? Like I'll do whatever I think needs to be done regardless of whether or not ultimately society is okay with it.
What about iconoclast?
Oh, yeah, I like that actually. That sums it up really well.
Yeah.
I love that. Thanks, TK.
Thanks, Mythic Odysseys of Theros.
Yeah, well. It's like, I'm just starting a campaign in Theros, and I was like, where did I heard that word about Thor recently?
I think I may have earned a positive tag for being nice to Levi Lockhart at, quote, considerable hardship in doing so. He's so sweet.
Yes.
But Henrietta or whoever might not be a fan anyway. Lisa loves Levi.
Backseat driver.
yeah, my backseat driver. So I feel like I should get a positive tag, like charming or something.
I think that you can get a positive tag both for charming Levi, which you've clearly done because Levi very much represents society's views of you, but also the maid and Moira as well. Just for like, because the entire interaction relied on society's perception of you and those characters' perceptions of you. So I think charming is acceptable.
Fantastic. I have gained charming then.
Aw.
Hooray. Maybe after Edwina's, like as part of Upkeep, we can do like a mini reputation phase for Edwina.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good idea.
absolutely.
Okay. Then, unless anyone else has any tags they think they've earned, next is the rumor and scandal phase.
We'll also do a mini rumor and scandal for Edwina.
Okay.
After
So,
that one, too.
Let's see. If it was spread, so we were involved in the crimes we investigated, including some serial murders, is no longer spread. Our house, Cluett Manor, is haunted to heck by the victims of the children's investigations, is now fading. Count Simon murdered his former brides, is no longer spread. Count Simon is a supernatural being, is fading. I'm probably gonna spread that.
Yeah, I feel like Count Simon having murdered his brides is still out there since I'm so sorry, Lucian brought it up. Like, does that count, or
well, it's no longer spread, so maybe the town at large isn't fully talking about it all the time, but we could someone could choose to spread it this time. The Ashton family has fallen out of favor with the church, is fading, and Hetty dyes her hair, is also fading.
It's like her hair.
Hilarious.
Okay, so I think I went first last time, so do we want to start on the other side? Friday, do you want to start? So you can either spread one of the rumors that's here, or you can make a new rumor.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and spread the rumor that Count Simon is a supernatural being, right? That pulls it back from fading to spread again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now that is spreading. Eugenio.
I think I would like to create a new rumor that Hetty and Lieutenant Lockhart are surprisingly close, considering their nuptials have not occurred yet.
Why is everyone bullying me? Honey,
you were the one who gave him your arm.
Scandalously close, even.
Close.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's true. You offered your arm right up.
You sure did.
Oh my god. I was just being polite. Whatever.
You can offer your arm under the eye of a chaperone. But when you're just together, when it's just you two together, you are behaving as a married couple, and that's... You only just met yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
Can't believe. Okay. I am going to spread the rumor that Count Simon murdered his former brides.
Okay.
And then I'm going to create a rumor. I want to create a rumor about where Eddie is getting her money.
Eddie sells dime bags behind the 7-Eleven.
Edwina has a patron of ill repute. Okay. Eugenio.
I think it's going to be really interesting as we start investigating what's going on for that very first rumor to be spread, so that we were involved in the crimes we investigated.
Okay.
I think that's going to be really interesting to be around while we try and figure this out.
All right. And Friday.
Let's see. I'm going to... Can I spread a rumor that we just added, just to give it a little more...
Absolutely.
Excellent. Then I'm going to go ahead and enhance the rumor that Hetty and Lockhart are scandalous.
No!
This is definitely not sibling bullying, just so that I can get that out there. It's definitely not.
Oh my goodness gracious. I forget, TK, do you get to participate in this phase? I'm forgetting off the top of my head.
I don't think so, but I don't have any rumors to add. Okay. So I really like it when y'all are doing the rumors too, because it kind of gives me a couple improvising things to work off of. So
awesome. All right. So just as a summary, I'll read what rumors have been spread. So these are our most prominent rumors: that the sisters were involved in the crimes they investigated, that Count Simon has murdered his former brides and is a supernatural being, and Hetty and Lockhart are scandalously close.
Scandalously close.
that moves us to the epistolary phase, if folks have some letters to write.
I think I can start. I think Hattie's gonna send a letter to our aunt, the abbess at the convent. Was it the convent or the something of the Weeping Rose?
Yeah, it's
was it
the
convent
of the Weeping Rose.
Yes. So I wanna send a letter to our aunt, who is the mother abbess at the convent of the Weeping Rose. And her name is Mary something. What is her last name?
Mary Hortense.
Hortense.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Mary
thank
Hortense.
you.
What a heckin' delight.
Yes, absolutely. So, Reverend Mother, you would, I think, be proud. Things at home are much more askew than even I imagined when you and I last spoke. It seems that perhaps my sister is the least of my concerns. I would like to be sure, before you continue reading this correspondence, that you are comfortably seated, for the remaining contents of this letter may be disturbing, if not outside of your experience. I met with a former acquaintance today, a friend in the clergy, one Father Cyrus Lightholder, and we took a meeting with a young man from my hometown, and his revelations were rivaled that of the good book's revelations. And I will describe the skin and the tears on the ragged bite on the chest and the hair in sort of very matter-of-fact language. You know, there was a... Go ahead.
I will say, as you are describing the tears, you're thinking back to it to describe the wounds and everything. The biggest thing that sticks out to you is that you don't remember any blood.
Yeah. So there were, 6 to 9 inch lacerations where the hair and possibly pieces of the scalp were removed. There was no exsanguination of the wounds at that point, and continue on. It seems that perhaps our Count Craddock is more than he appears. Have you seen or heard of the like? I must admit that Father Lightholder and I are stymied as to next steps and possible solutions. If you have advice or recommendations or even ideas as to the provenance of this evil, I hope that you will write back as expeditiously as possible. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancto, yours, Harriet Cluett. Harriet Cluett. Sister Harriet Cluett.
Just sister with a little carrot underneath.
Yeah, right.
Love it. Anyone else got letters?
I'm gonna write just a really simple note to Inspector Ezra. It's going to be unsigned, but I think to him obvious from whom the letter is. Just investigating. Worried about the most recent Mrs. Craddock. She seems unwell, and you should consider visiting. Sweet-smelling water and unusual deeds. We'll report when we have more. And that's it.
All right, thank you so much. Very cool. And worried about Moira's health.
Friday, do you have any letters yet? Yeah.
Boy, do I ever. Boy, do I ever. I have notes. So, a letter from Edwina to Lord Vincent Byron in prison. My dear cousin, I hope you are well enough. What a tragedy that landed you in the prison. I believe that you're not the one who poisoned our dear friend. Who do you think could have done such a thing? Please let me know if I can send you anything. All the best, Edwina.
Amazing. And did you have a second letter?
Oh, I do. Do I get another turn right away?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I didn't want to hog the post office.
You were at the end, so we're going back.
Got it. Right. I forgot how we take turns so nicely. Okay. Now, let me know if I need to use a resolve token here. I'm about to do something despicable. More. Again. I'd like to send a letter to Enoch Skeffington from Edwina, however, signed as Hetty.
Oh, no!
It's gonna be mean. Okay. So is that something that I need to use a resolve token for if it's not something directly happening to Hetty, but sort of pretending to be her and talking about her?
Okay, so who is the letter to?
Enoch Skeffington, of course. Maybe mildly obsessed.
This is even wilder because Enoch doesn't have anything to do with Hetty and is going to be so deeply confused, and I love it.
Incredible. How do you feel about it, Hetty? Do you think
I
that
don't
a resolve
think. Yeah,
I
you're
don't think so
writing a
either.
letter. I think that's fine.
To lie and impersonate.
Excellent. So I'm going to lie and impersonate a letter to Enoch Skeffington from, in quotes, Hetty. All right.
Oh my gosh, and all he's going to think is that this is actually from Hattie because they were dressed exactly alike yesterday, and he thought they were playing a prank on him. Jesus, and of course it's in quotes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Poor man. Poor man.
Oh, dear Lord Skeffington, what a pleasure to see you at the reception the other day. I regret to inform you that my affections are now with another. Lieutenant Levi Lockhart and I are engaged to be wed, and it would be a great kindness if you would cease to pursue me. Yours, crossed out, Henrietta Cluett.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my gosh.
Quick question, Hattie, have you written letters to Enoch before?
I think a long time ago.
Okay.
Like maybe when I first left for the convent, but it was probably one, and then as my studies and training began, not
writing
again.
so it's been summer camp.
Exactly.
No
right.
one
Exactly.
cares about Enoch Skeffington.
Bless him. I cared
No
for
one
like
cares.
a second.
About
It was
Enoch.
like a page and a half, probably. It was,
I was like, hey, Enoch, could you give this to your older brother for me?
Hey, Enoch, can you
Yours.
keep sending me roses? It's weird.
Okay, but how did you get it on my pillow, though? Because that was upsetting.
Yeah.
Yours, but actually your cute older brother's. Harriet. Yeah, so it's been years since I wrote to Enoch.
Oh, Edwina, is your handwriting the same as your last letter to Enoch?
No, I'm a genius detective.
Oh, that's right.
Genius detective, master of manipulation. Certainly not. No. I'm emulating. And as an actual sociopath, manipulative master, I am absolutely emulating Hetty's handwriting, not Hattie's. So
Right.
So still the wrong sister.
Incredible.
The wrong one. That's fine.
Incredible.
That's cool. What an incredible moment. Hetty,
Amazing.
it's your turn. Did you have another letter?
Who? Hetty, not me.
Oh, wait, me? I don't have another letter from me, but I would like to spend a resolve token because I want to see Enoch's response.
Oh my god.
Can we please have Enoch's response just right away as a treat?
He's gonna leave that letter on red. Okay, here we go. Kind Miss Cluett, thank you for your gentle regards toward my feelings. I am pleased to see that you have found love in the arms of the lieutenant. And though I suspect that there may have been some miscommunication of my affections, which I assure you are purely those of a brother, I wish you all of the happiness in the world. Please give my love to your sister. And then like an extra, like an S, like at the, like added onto that word. And just like a, with sincerity, Lord Skeffington.
I love this.
Who receives that letter, please? Because it could legitimately be any of the three of us.
I think it arrives at the Cluett Manor and is like, I think it arrives at the Cluett Manor with a yellow rose, like a friendship yellow rose.
Oh no, oh no.
Friend zone rose.
Wait,
And
didn't he
Hetty,
leave a yellow
so
rose
I feel
for
like
me?
Hetty gets this and is just like,
Oh, does he do yellow for you?
I think so.
I think
Then it's like an.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember.
I thought he gave you a white
I don't-
rose.
Oh, maybe it was a white rose.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe
maybe
it
you're
was a
correct.
white
You're
rose,
correct.
yeah.
Okay, white rose.
Yeah,
so
it's like a friendship yellow rose for Hetty.
Hetty's just like, okay, and throws the letter away.
She's just like you both have the exact same reaction getting letters from each other, where he like reads it and he's like, fucking cool, I guess. I mean, and then he just like tosses it in his fireplace. Is like, I can't have anybody find that in my house. It's like, maybe I'll have lunch with Levi. No, better not. It's like, what the fuck?
All right. Does
Like, I've never
Harriet
talked to this person in my
or
life.
Eugenio, do you have any other letters?
I don't think I do at this point. Is there another? Will we have another? I don't know if I'm going to need another. But
We
I don't think I do
probably
at the
won't
moment.
Have another one? Yeah. I might do very quick one, just like if the last novel chapter reveals anything, we might do like a quick quote unquote letter when we do monologue tokens.
Oh, okay.
So we can always do that.
Yeah, I'll hang on to it for now then, because I don't think I have anything else at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. All right. Then I think we're on to the next chapter.
All right, let me get in that fucking Enoch Skeffington.
I 100% know what I'm doing the next mini letter
back
phase.
K.
Just
Writes back K.
okay.
Okay. It's like,
Oh my god, amazing.
it's like I can't be with you anymore. Our torrent affair, and it's like we can't be together. And he's just like,
Okay.
cool.
Who are you?
He's like, who the fuck is this? It's like, why does that name sound familiar? Edwina. Let's move the camera onto you as you enter the high ceiling, broad foyer, the broad welcoming room of Black Academy, which is a large Gothic building made of a sort of reformed 1200s church that can no longer foster the masses and has had dormitories added to become a private academy for girls. It is a Black academy for upstanding ladies. You are here to see Madam Sylvia Black.
Golly, am I ever. All right. Now, is she waiting for me, or do I need to go and find her office?
When you arrive, there is a butler that inclines his head to you, offers to take your I'm sure you have like a traveling jacket.
I have a traveling cloak. Are you kidding?
Yeah, most young ladies do. I think he was surprised to see that you're wearing like a full evening cloak.
Oh god.
And like operatic gloves. It's just like, may I take your hat, your gloves, your brooch, your bag, and your other cloak?
You may have my cloaks.
Okay, takes the cloaks, but not the hats or bags, and go. Sorry, or the gloves. Obviously, like he like goes toward, and he's like very like. I imagine that you just like put your arms out like and you like wait to be disrobed. It's like
actually
sure.
It's implied you're welcome.
It's like, darling, like it's very like the rich aunt arriving, like darling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I didn't enter the building. I swanned into the building, for the record.
You swept in. The doors opened almost before you touched them, and light flooded the entryway, and a small gust of wind blew like some small flower petals around your feet.
My slender 19-year-old frame.
Yes. It's just like the evening sun like illuminating your hair. Ugh. He takes your outer clothing to the coat and cloak closet, and lets you know that his mistress will be with you in merely a moment. The academy is not as full as it was in your youth. May is not quite into the summer holidays, so none of the children that typically would have been here are here now. They have just let out and gone home, but there are a few small children in these sort of like dark royal blue and red fringed frocks that walk around, and they look up at you and sort of like whisper behind their hands, giggle, and then run off in their little clasped shoes. And yeah. It's only about 15 minutes before Madame Black sort of she doesn't come down from the stairs the way that she used to in your youth with her cane at her side, and she always had a cane, but she sort of she sort of staggers out from her office at the far back of the entryway.
In those 15 minutes that she made me wait, even though I asked her to make herself available when I showed up, did I notice anything kind of like unusual? Are there any like doors that, you know, look like they've been like, I don't know if there's anything like painted shut or anything that's strange?
Not in the entryway so much, but you do notice when you were a child, this place seemed so imposing. I mean, it was a medieval church. It was like a castle, and now it is just an old building, a little dark, a little dreary, and a little sad, just like the woman who runs it.
Ew. Okay.
And she does approach, and as usual, she's wearing a little too much powder, a little too much rouge. Her hair is a little too tight, and it emphasizes her fading hairline. And she tries to stand a little taller whenever she sees you, but age and pettiness have begun to sort of wear down on her. And she just taps the back of her hands. It certainly took you long enough.
Madam Black, I have been waiting patiently for you.
Of course, Miss Cluett.
Nice.
Though I doubt it was patiently. You were never good at patiently.
Well, shall we? Age before beauty.
Of course. She like sort of inclines back towards her office and follows you back in that direction. I hope you don't mind if the young Lord Pratt joins us today.
Ah, the young Lord Pratt, Sir Francis. No, it'll be a pleasure.
Good. If you'll come down with me, it's just past my office here. She brushes through her office with this open door, like several other rooms here, the classrooms and such, it does not have a door to close on the frame. And further in, there is a sort of a conservatory filled with these bright and dark green plants that have begun to sort of peek over the edge of things and crawl their way like ivy, like living creatures, like the fingers of some manner of primordial nature spirit that have crawled their ways up the walls and along the glass roof. And even further beyond that, there is yet another room, a classroom that hasn't been used for some time, but that you once joined Moira in to investigate an altogether strange occurrence, a strange mystery, ultimately one that could be solved through logical means, and yet it left you with questions about the leather tomes and the strange bottles, the interesting colors of smoke that you saw that night. This is where she leads you again. And she has a wooden table that has a black velvet cloth laid upon it, and only a couple of candles, a small cone of incense. It smells like this blend, this spicy blend that has a little bit of maybe cedar. It has begun to burn down, and the top is gray with ash, but you can still see the sparks and smokes that come off of it, bright pinks and oranges. Now that's odd for incense. And you see him leaning against the table, reading over a couple of scrolls on a piece of paper that is too soft for vellum, too moist for parchment.
Do I recognize any of the scents other than cedar coming from the incense? As a spice connoisseur of sorts, is this familiar to me at all?
Yeah, you'd have to get a little closer. You can smell cedar as sort of like a grounding scent, but there's something else, something that smells. What does protection taste like?
What does protection taste like?
Yeah.
Like waxy and kind of gold, like waxed brandy?
Yeah, almost like a myrrh. Like a myrrh.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
That is the taste on the back of your teeth when you grow closer.
All right. Lord Pratt, lovely to see you this morning.
That's you, Eugenio.
Yeah. I was just thinking. Oh, well, what a surprise to see you here, Miss Cluett.
I was under the impression that we had possibly some business in common here. I was asked to come on specific business.
He looks a little flustered because he was like going for a thing and it didn't work, and so now he doesn't know what to do, and so he's like, yes, of course. No, I knew that you would. Of course, I knew you. How are you today, Miss Cluett?
Just as well as I was a moment ago, Lord Francis.
Yes, no, of course we've done that.
Yeah. And Madam Black, you've asked us to join you here today. I was under the impression that we had some family business in regards to my own family, our personal business.
Of course. But I could not have done this without him deciphering the scrolls, so you can understand how he would have to be here this time.
That puffs me up a lot.
If you object to him, we can bury him somewhere. There's plenty of room in the catacombs, I hear.
That's what I understand as well. However, I've been interested in seeing exactly what skills Lord Pratt has to offer. I wouldn't mind a demonstration.
Now that is much more Lord Pratt's wheelhouse. And he says, what, here in front of Miss Black?
Lord Pratt, your linguistics.
Yes, of course. Thank you, lady, for the introduction. It seems that my skills are well timed. Shall we take a look?
Get on with it. We don't have all day, and the body is well past what we should be able to get out of it anyway.
Of course, of course.
That explains the incense.
Yeah, so we'll I guess I am a little bit because I don't know, but the translations that I did I will show to Eddie, and just sort of, very, perhaps he seems like a mansplainer, doesn't he? So he's gonna do that. Yeah. So he's gonna do that and just like really oversimplify the translation process for her, but just truly thinks that he's gonna impress her.
Sure.
Doesn't make it better. It just makes it also sad.
She'll go ahead and let him think he's impressing her.
Great. He loves that.
Yeah, it's incredible. As the two of you are poring over these scrolls that Madame Black has prepared for you, she has also begun her own preparations, having pulled this black velvet cloth aside, carefully folded it to reveal this body beneath. And it has this sort of like cold, white, waxy flesh. No signs of any of what could have killed him, with the exception of a neck that is twisted far too far to the side. And
go ahead.
What appears to be a leg that was once broken.
Ooh. I think Lord Pratt was able to deceive himself about what this scroll was made out of, but that self-deceit doesn't really hold up in the face of a literal dead body next to me. And so, Eddie, I think you see Francis sort of out of the corner of his eye, like see it and immediately turn white as a sheet and just start to like rock a little bit, and pauses in his translations.
I'd like to go ahead and just take the book away from him. He clearly can't handle this. Roll my eyes. Take the book. I think I get the kind of the gist of the translation. I'm pretty sure I can.
Oh, of course, I would never doubt your Miss Black. Water anywhere?
No, everything here is for the speech.
The time to perhaps put him away.
I just must catch a bit of fresh air. You'll excuse me, ladies.
When he leaves, Madame Black glances over to Edwina and says, "For a small price, I can have him taken care of."
I haven't yet decided whether he's worth keeping around or not. I'd like to observe him a little while longer. Thank you.
He is only gone for a moment. And when he comes back, he has like fixed himself a little bit, but there is just a little bit of breakfast on the corner of his mouth that he did not quite manage to wipe away before re-entering.
Poor dear.
And he is shaky, but like he's found his voice again, and he's like, right, couldn't waste a lovely afternoon, but now down to work, shall we, ladies?
Of course. Madame Sylvia Black begins to light the candles one by one by one until it's a row all spanning the edges of this table. She begins the intonation, a thrum, a sort of drone that reaches from the bottom of her stomach up, up, up through her throat and out her mouth, and fills the entire room with the energy of it, with the vibration of it, and looks to Eddie to begin the chant for the intonation. It is after a couple of moments of this, when the lights of the candles are beginning to flicker and fade and suddenly spurn upwards, upwards, upwards in a straight line towards the ceiling, that you get the first of breath from the body.
Oh, I think Lord Francis just keels over.
Thump! Hits the ground like a sack of potatoes. And Sylvia Black leans gently over the mouth. What did you say your name was, son? And a gasping,
Don't you dare.
Owen.
God damn.
Eddie's intrigued, fascinated. This is a first.
Now, I have my own suspicions from the boy, but if you have any questions about him or Henrietta, you probably have about 3 questions before he's gone.
Only 3. I better make them good. Owen, dear, how do you know my sister Henrietta?
I think, first of all, before you start spending questions, you would know who Cornelius Owen is.
Oh, okay.
That he was a lover of Moira's, that he was a friend of Henrietta's,
Yes.
that you might not know how Henrietta might have felt about him regarding their friendship, but you do know through your contacts that he mysteriously disappeared not long after you all did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which of my contacts? Which of my worlds?
Ooh,
are we talking
through your financial district?
My financial district, thank you.
Yeah.
He went missing. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Great. Was he in with my financial district? Was he a part of? No, okay. Just an acquaintance of.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Okay. In that case, Cornelius, how did you end up on the other side from us? What happened to you?
Where Moira? And a sort of like a gasping breath. I won't tell. I won't tell. It's just call. It's so our secret.
Cornelius, I'm afraid I must insist, dear. Whose secret?
His eyes, these milky white, they begin to dart and bulge in the face, and you can see the sort of like twitch as he tries to turn his head towards you.
Ooh.
You want to help him?
Yeah, I'll grab him. I'm so glad I didn't take my gloves off, though they have just been laundered.
Yeah. You grab him, and there is like a sense of cold, of rushing water against your fingertips for a moment. And when you turn his head towards yours, you look into his mouth and you get the sense of vertigo, as though you're falling. A long fall, and then suddenly a start between your shoulders as you come to an abrupt end at the bottom.
think I understand. Cornelius, I'll ask you again, and I need you to tell me who.
I wanted to keep her secret. But I thought it was Hetty, but it wasn't. It was the other one. She looks like Hetty, but she's not Hetty. It was the other one. I'm so tired.
Cornelius, can you give me one more, and then you can rest? One more. Was it Hattie?
No. Can you hold my hand?
I've got you, Cornelius. You've done very well. You can rest now.
I'm scared.
It's over, Cornelius. You can rest.
Life flows out of him like water.
I'll have to have my gloves cleaned again.
Damn. This wasn't exactly the answer I wanted, but I suppose it's better than nothing.
Do you know what he could have meant? The other one.
Who knows? Ghosts are unpredictable.
Ugh. Aren't they just? Well,
One-track minds.
Do
you, got a bottle of brandy in my office. We could just let him clean it all up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It wasn't much other help.
Yeah.
Let's.
We'll lock the door. Once it's clean, we'll let him out.
Sounds great.
She begins to lead you out.
Excellent. All right, as they sit and they have their brandy, am I able to have more conversation with her?
Yeah, if you'd like to have a little bit more conversation, I can let you know if you learn anything. We are getting to about 10 minutes until the end of the hour. Did you have anything specific you'd like to know?
She had told me before at the reception, although I think we were both a little far in our cups at that point, but she did let slip that Hetty had been blackmailing her and that she was going to rat Hetty out for blackmailing her.
Oh yeah. She gets in her cups and she sort of it was an embarrassing sort of thing. I had a little bookkeeping accident and Hetty helped me figure it out. And I've been unfortunately in her debt for some time.
Well, if there's anything I can do to help get you out from under my sister's thumb.
Oh, absolutely. If we can just prove she had something to do with Lord Owen, I'll bet she'll get what she deserves.
I'll bet she will. I'd be more than happy to work together with you on that, Madam Black.
Here's to that.
Each other.
Yeah, she holds up her little cup to cheers.
Excellent. Am I able to also ask her if she knows what happened to our parents?
Haven't seen them for some time. Who knows what the Cluetts do anymore, but After all that business that sent you out of town, I haven't really kept up with them much. Why, are they not home?
They haven't been.
Hmm.
We're not sure how long.
Well, I haven't really seen them. Nobody's really seen them in public for some time, so...
How much time?
Oh, I couldn't say. A couple of years. The Lockharts. Maybe Levi could. He is her betrothed, and they would have had to arrange that.
Excellent. Well, I shall inquire. Thank you. All right. I suppose I'll make my way on with my day. Madam Black, you've been very helpful.
Yeah, better get before you warrant your welcome.
I have things to do. You are welcome for my company. I'll report back when you might be of more use to me.
Maybe get on your way to church.
Mm-hmm.
Pray over that hem length.
You pray over that book in that room of yours.
She cackles at that and takes another swig.
I love her.
All right, let's sweep. I'm going to swan my way out of here while I feel like I have the upper hand. I got the last word. I'm going to swan my way out and allow the, porter or whatever, the valet, to re-robe me on my way.
Can I use my monologue token?
Yeah,
absolutely. I kind of want to hear what's going on in Edwina's head after that interesting ceremony.
Well, all right. Edwina's monologue. A soliloquy by Edwina. An unusual set of facts, an unusual mystery in a mystery. Now, it's very clear that Hetty's up to no good. It's very clear that she's just shy of being exposed. If I can find evidence through that delicious betrothed of hers to destroy her, we might just be able to take care of multiple items of business at once. What an efficient outing. And as for Pratt, well, the linguistics are impressive. They may come of use in our dealings. He may be of use to the spice exchange, but he takes more observation. He's a bit unpredictable, flighty, condescending. Those personalities can be manipulated. He may be of use, we'll see.
Awesome.
I would just like to say that 10 minutes after Lady Black and Eddie leave the room, Pratt wakes up to find himself locked in a room with a dead body and just screams a lot.
Yeah, I think that a headmistress is definitely listening, hears it echoing through the conservatory and just sits there with her hand on her glass, grabs her cane and closes the door with the cane across the room.
He'll never be the same, and it's delightful.
It just goes click.
Yes.
Love it. Shall we do our mini phases?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our little baby phases. All
right. So reputation for Edwina. Do you feel you earned a positive or negative tag?
Let me look at my new money. Thinky. Gain a positive tag if you. Well, I wouldn't. Would we say that Madam Black is of a higher social status than myself? I kind of feel like.
Yeah, as a married woman in a headdress of a prestigious university.
She works. Ew.
Yeah, but she's the headmistress of a prestigious academy. I think that a town like this where they're kind of stuck in the past, if you were in London, 100% you'd be higher social status. Mm-hmm. But in a town like this, the tradition is everything here.
Excellent. Well, then I think I get a positive reputation token for securing a personal invitation of someone of a higher social status than myself. Take a positive one. Why don't we say ambitious?
All right. Ambitious. And then did we want to do a mini phase of rumors and scandals? Is there like one rumor or scandal we want to add?
Yeah, anything from that thing.
Well, gosh. I think we should. I'd like to spread a rumor that Madam Black is a witch.
Yes! Madam Black is a witch. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, we've added that rumor. Amazing. All right. And then does anyone want to do something for the epistolary phase? I'll say for this mini version, we'll each get one.
Yeah.
I'll start. Henrietta probably goes and like runs some errands or like asks around town about Count Simon. But she'll take that yellow rose that she got from Enoch and is just gonna leave it in a little vase on the kitchen counter with a note that says, "Edwina, Enoch told me to give this to you." The yellow friendship rose.
Incredible.
Not knowing what she's doing. She has no idea why Enoch gave it to her.
Enoch told me to give this to you. That's so funny.
All right.
I like that. I'm sorry. I just like the idea that like Enoch was like, "Give my love to your sister."
Must have meant Eddie. Did anyone else have a letter they wanted to write?
Or receive?
Ooh. Is it I want Eddie to get one back from her cousin. Is that okay?
Yeah.
From Lord Vincent Byron in prison.
She has resolve tokens left.
Yeah, if you have resolve tokens, you can totally get that.
Yeah, I haven't used one.
So you do get a letter back from Francis Pratt that has been it has already been opened and looked through. You can see the creases from where it's been like folded out, and you can see multiple sort of fingerprints and ink splotches where other people have pored over it and looked, probably the officers in charge of his cell, making sure that nothing is going in or out. The letter is in a form of code regarding your financial straits, and it is: "Dearest cousin, Eddie, I had lost hope of speaking to you once again, but hope now returns to me anew, blossoming in my chest like a lotus flower." And there is a very like specific code that is written in here, a lotus flower being a locational direction such as east. And eventually, when you get to the end of the letter, once you have deciphered the code words, it is a meeting place in Honeyfield. And once you can get to a map, you can figure out where to go. And it is also a time, midnight, 2 days from now.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Great. I thought he was just being an insufferable poet artiste again. I was like, oh.
Oh, he is.
But in code, in a helpful
And the
way.
meter is all off.
Vincent. It's the worst.
Yeah, the meter is very like there. So like 9 lines are okay, but the 10th line has like 2 syllables too many, but not enough to make it like a decent couplet or anything.
Like, why
It's
bother
just,
going to university for this if he's
It's
gonna
like, like I know you're in jail, but count on your fingers.
right? Get it together, buddy. This is why he doesn't get invited to that many salons. Also because he's in prison, but like Okay, thank you.
And the last
Yeah,
part
no
is our
problem.
upkeep phase. So if you've spent resolve tokens or monologue tokens, you will get them back. If you hadn't spent your monologue token, here is your last chance to request a monologue from somebody. Or honestly, I'm down with like if someone just wants to monologue and we've got monologue tokens left.
Honestly, I would ask either Hetty or do one from Hattie about the stuff that we figured out, but I feel like the two of us need to like
Yeah.
have
I
a
think
little
we need to
meetings
talk.
like we planned anyway, so I don't know
I'm gonna spend an ultra monologue token just for pure dialogue, nothing else, conversation between you two, starting like right now.
Oh.
Because I do kind of want to resolve that just real quick.
Oh,
Just
sure,
like a
sure.
pure, even if it's just like letters or something like that. Because I'm afraid that with a week in between them, we won't be in the same headspace. So just
Okay.
like
Totally.
we can run over
So
just
like
a few
maybe
minutes
a
if that's
quick
fine.
beginning of a dialogue and we can continue it
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as I get home, I like run to the kitchen or Hattie's room to talk to you.
Yeah, and I think Hattie is furiously finishing her letter to our aunt, and sees you come in and says, "Seems we both have things to say."
There is something seriously wrong with Moira. Her flesh is cold as ice, and I slam down my flask, and there's something in the water there, and I'm like taking the little cap off and like holding it under your nose.
When you hold the flask, you slam it off and you see that there's like a crystallization that is formed on the cap. It does not slosh when you hold it.
Oh, she's cold as ice, and well, speaking of, and the sunlight hurt her, and she's not like she was yesterday. There's something different. There's something wrong. What did you find out?
We have to get Moira out of that house. Lucian is changed. He is not a creature of God's earth anymore, and I fear that is what is happening to Moira. Something terrible is happening in that house with that man.
I knew it. I knew he killed Carolyn.
I believe it wasn't just Carolyn, but his first wife as well. Lucian has reason to believe that what is being done to him and to Moira was done to the previous two as well.
Well, I think this is more your wheelhouse. There's something new supernatural going on. We have to stop it.
I will be sending a letter to Aunt Mary. Father Lightholder is looking into things, but Hetty, this is far beyond anything I've seen. And then I'm just gonna look at Hetty and look directly into her eyes and say, "Can you think of what it might be?"
And Hetty struggles at first, her voice stuttering, and then a voice that doesn't even sound like Hetty's voice says, "Nothing good can come of that house." That's it.
I think that if we were a show that is roleplay wise, where the credits would roll for this episode. Is there anything else in Upkeep that we need to do?
No, I think we've got it. That was so spooky, TK.
Yes, it was. It was
That
so
was so
good.
scary.
Oh wait, too pooky.
It's too spooky.
It was perfect.
All right, let's go ahead and do some outros. We're gonna start with our lovely chaperone, TK.
It TK. I write spooky stories on the internet, and if you like spooky stories, then you can read them at my website, tkjwrites.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. Right now I'm on vacation, so I'm only doing streams. I'm doing a little writing too, but you can't read that because I'm under NDA, so, you know, sometimes that's just how things go. But yeah, hanging out on Twitter, doing streams. I might stream some like Dead by Daylight gameplay or something this week, or I'll take a nap for 7 straight days. Who knows? The world is my oyster, my paid time off oyster.
Fantastic. Friday.
Hi. I'm Friday. I am on the internet, both from my work perspective, Friday Afternoon Tea at Friday Tea on all social media, or at Friday Afternoon Tea here on Twitch. And my personal side, where I am a human being on my own, is at Friday Elliott on Twitter, or at Friday at Home on Instagram. And that is where I hang out and am friendly. And I also sometimes write stories. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, and you can also find me on those other places.
Awesome. Eugenio.
Hey everybody, I'm Eugenio, DM Jazzy Hands. You can find me on Twitter and here on Twitch at DM Jazzy Hands. I am the Dungeon Master and producer of an actual play D&D podcast, if that's your thing. It's called The Last Refuge. New episodes every Wednesday. Other than that, Monday evenings, you can find me on the Roll20 channel playing with Lysa in a game of Burn Bright, GM'd by the extraordinary Celeste Conowitch. We're in all kinds of trouble. I don't know. We're gallivanting through space and everything's going terribly. It's great. It's amazing. It's a ton of fun. And then I stream video games and fun times on my Twitter channel on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. So come check out that stuff.
Hello, everybody. I am Lysa Penrose. I just want to say thank you again to Storybrewers Roleplaying, who make the game we are playing, Good Society, the Jane Austen RPG. Go check that out. And also thank you again to Friday Afternoon Tea for sponsoring the show. You can find me personally on, Twitch here, Instagram and Twitter at Lysa Penrose. And also, if you loved the show and you need to know what are all these secrets we're talking about, there is a Session 0 that is available now on patreon.com/beholdher. If you back the Patreon, you get access to that exclusive Session 0 podcast. And if you missed Session 1 or just want to relive the story so far, the Behold Her podcast feed, which is available for free wherever podcasts are free, has Session 1 and will soon have Session 2 as well, edited by the lovely Rudy Basso. Thank you, everybody, so much. Stick around in the end screen because we're going to give the Venture Maidens a raid. I believe they're playing something spooky. So we'll go say hi to them. Thank you, everyone, Eugenio, Friday, and TK for being here. And gosh, I hope people can get some sleep tonight after that spookiness. Bye, everybody.
Bye.